Hey everyone, welcome to Vlogmas Day 22. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Tomorrow we have the kids, the babies. Friday, we're hanging out. Oh, that is one big raccoon. Oh no, that's a cat. It's huge. It's on the other side of the pond. My dog just saw it, so she's probably going to bark. Wow, that's a big cat. Anyways, sorry, squirrel. I mean cat. Oh yeah, and then Friday we're going to Bronner's with the kids, and then Saturday is Jesus' birthday. It's like, what? Anyways, yeah, this might get interesting. I might have to pause for a little bit. So, a few things. I'm not going to show any of my paintings today. I shared quite a bit with you guys during Vlogmas. That is not all of it. That is a smidgen. That may be half of what I have, but I'm going to put the focus on someone else today that makes amazing Christmas handmade things. I wanted to share this necklace. I wanted to share this necklace with you guys. This is a necklace that I bought. It's basically, I don't know if the chain came with it. I actually think the chain did come with it. I ordered it on Etsy, I believe. I will try to find it and put a link in the description box. If you have a friend that you want to personalize something for and make it extra special, this shop is amazing. So it's just this little, I'll get closer. I'll take it off and show you closer. And then these things I added on. Fear is a liar. And then it's got this little crystal on it. But it says Soul Sisters, established 1978. 628 miles, has nothing on us. And then it's got a little heart. So this is what I made for my soul sister Kristen that lives in Tennessee. Her and I met in 1978, 6th grade, and we've been friends ever since. We're closer now, I think, than we've ever been in our entire lives, even though we have the distance between us, which is 628 miles. So what I did is I Googled from my house to her house. That's how I figured out the miles. And then I obviously could figure out when I met her, what year that was. So I sent that to her for her birthday, amongst some other gifts. And then I had one made for myself too, so that I always have her with me. I shouldn't say I always have her with me. I don't wear necklaces that often. I have a ton of necklaces, but I don't know what my deal is. I love necklaces. I don't know. I guess it's because I work at home. I said yesterday in yesterday's video, Vlogmas video, that we're not fancy people whatsoever. I mean, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stretchy pants, yoga pants, you know, jeans if I'm going out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't dress up unless I'm going to a wedding or something of that nature. I'm trying to get it so you can read that. Anyway, you get the idea, right? There we go. There we go. Ignore my fingernails too. That is not dirt under my fingernails. I colored my roots yesterday, and I always get, you know, that stuff under my nails, and then it stains them. But at least It's my whole hands aren't stained like Cassandra's. She is killing me. Yesterday's Vlogmas video, her and Aaron, Autumn Lane Stitchery, she did some dye on her daughter's hair and her hands are just red. It's hilarious. So anyway, oops. So I don't wear necklaces, you know, if I'm got a t-shirt on and I'm super cash. But today I'm a little bit more dressed up. So I bought this at Marshall's. It is the softest, like inside it's like fuzzy, the softest fuzzy ever. Oh, I feel like I'm wrapped in a blanket. And then on the back, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got that cute little pleat in it. And it's just really cute and cozy and comfy. And it's pink. I feel dressed up when I wear pink. If I wear anything other than black and gray and army green, I feel dressed up. Okay, we did the giveaway yesterday. That was our last giveaway other than drawing the names and announcing them on Christmas Day. What I decided to do is Christmas Day, I'm going to upload a video. I will probably do it like first thing in the morning, so that'll be our last video for Vlogmas this year. I don't know if I'm going to do this next year. I really enjoyed it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the year brings and if I have enough things to show, because this was my first Vlogmas, so I had a lot of like my decorations and things to show. But what am I going to do next year? Show you the same stuff? Probably not. Hey guys, welcome to Vlogmas Day 22. Okay, so I don't have Stitchy Box Day 22. It's an oversight, I'm guessing. So
it's in there somewhere.
It's the box is right there. You can go look.
Okay.
There's only, oops, 3 gifts left. So we're doing Kitten Stitcher instead. Another chart. Ooh, needlework press. H. Purdy, 1822.
September 1822.
I'm just reading. The title is there, though. Nice. Oh, wow. So on the back it shows the antique piece with the little write-up. Wow, it's beautiful. That would be, I mean, it's just all one color. What does she have? I don't know. Hog bristle linen, 36 count by Fox and Rabbit. Measures 6, oh, so it's small. 6.6 wide by 11 inches, 11.7 inches tall. I don't know what the floss is. Oh. Verissois 537. So it's a dark green. It's hard to tell in this. It looks black to me. But yeah, you can make that any color. It's really pretty. So thank you, Teresa and Needlework Press. Cool. I got hubby a really good gift.
Breakable?
Anything can be breakable. Any guesses?
Not a clue. Cool story. Oh, Mr. Buddies.
It's very fitting for this chilly day.
Oh.
Smash Santa.
Poor Santa. From a hunting blind, maybe even over there where I work. It gets chilly over there.
Is that the right one?
No.
Ah, well, you can exchange it. He showed it to me at TSC when we were there one day. He asked the guy how much it cost, and then he went and put it back. And then when he came back to the checkout lane, he said that'd be a great gift for me. Well, I didn't know they had a whole bunch of different kinds, so I went back to get it, and I'm like, oh crap! I didn't know which one it was. So anyway, you can exchange it.
All right, we'll see.
Was the other one propane?
Mm-hmm.
So
it was a DeWalt. It had a blower on it. Had a couple other features that were
okay. My bad.
Oh, no biggie. Appreciate it.
You hang out with Santa, getting some brownie points. Isn't he cute? Santa's not bad either. All right, so we will see you guys later. We're going to do the Q&A. There was 115 questions, so he's going to be a part of the questions that he's involved in, and then I'm going to do the other questions some other time because that's just too much. Nobody wants to sit and listen to us ramble on that much. So there was a lot of repeat questions too. So anyway, still there's at least
quite the response.
There's at least probably 80 questions. So yeah, thank you. Some of them are super creative. Some of them I don't even know the answer to. So it should be interesting. All right, we'll see you later. Can you be next to me?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Still opposite, isn't it?
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
All right, guys, we are ready for the Q&A. I decided that we were going to split it up, and we're going to do the questions that, I think I already mentioned this, didn't I? That pertain to Kevin. And then that way I can do, because there's a lot of questions, and this would take forever. So, let's go. The first question is from Lynn LaForce. She says, does Kevin ever give you any input on your designs?
No. No, I suggested one or two that were old paintings. Other than that, not really. She doesn't need any help. She's full of ideas.
Full of what?
Ideas.
Leslie O'Brien, have you visited a Christmas Story house in Cleveland where the movie was actually filmed? Nope. I have not. I don't know that we ever will, but if we're ever in Cleveland, it'd be cool to look it up. Cheryl Puckey. She's the one. Yep. She got her totes in time for Christmas in Canada. Totes. Or not totes, pouches. It was pouches, yeah. They got lost in transit a little bit, I guess. How did the two of you meet, and how long was it before you married? Where you currently live, is this the area where you and Kevin were raised? How did we meet? I'll tell that part.
She don't like the way I do it.
We met through my ex-boyfriend that happened to date his cousin that lived next door to him. Like, he grew up next door to his cousins, and this person dated his cousin. Well, then I dated him. He was a two-timer, by the way. Anyways, he ended up introducing us. We were out celebrating this person's birthday party, at a birthday party at a bar, and there was a ton of us there because we all had mutual friends. And Kevin happened to be there, and
I knew him through my cousin.
Yeah, and he introduced us.
We danced and talked.
And that was the end of that.
After that, she stalked me for a while.
No, I gave him my number, though, and that was the first and last stranger that I gave my number to. I never.
She regrets it.
Well, no, stop it. No, I just never gave my number to, people I didn't know.
What was the rest?
How long before you married?
A couple years.
2 years. We dated for 2 years. We both live in the same close vicinity from where we grew up.
5 to 7 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 10. I mean, one school district over. One township over.
Yeah, we went to the same school, but we're 5 years apart, so we didn't know each other in school. Annie from Annie B's Folk Art. She said, what is your favorite holiday boozy drink? What isn't my favorite holiday boozy drink?
Yes.
Yeah, right. I don't know really like any holiday drinks. I mean, we kind of just drink the same thing all the time.
Eggnog or bourbon with eggnog.
Oh, well, yeah.
Probably.
I guess that would be our favorite. Boozy. Yeah. I love those ones that we used to make, though. We actually made them Christmas morning. I think before we even had breakfast, we opened gifts and we were drinking them. We made them. The boys love them. What they're like has the orange in them, and they're a total pain to make.
Oh.
We made a big picture of them, and we were sipping on it because there's orange in it, like orange juice.
Yeah. Breakfast booze.
If I think of the name of it, I'll share the recipe with you guys. It's a pain, like I said, a pain to make, but it's delicious. Fran Sturgeon. What age did Kevin start playing the drums?
13. I bought my first drum kit at 13. From my money I saved from my first job.
And your first job was?
I helped the janitorial staff at the high school where I was attending after school.
Did he ever try to go professional by trying out for popular bands?
No. I played with my buddies. We're semi-pro. We have a tribute band. We do all right. I really don't think I would have been cut out for touring and being gone and on the road. I'd have never met Teresa.
Aww.
Yeah, no good.
What?
I said that's no good.
Right.
But
well, and plus, yeah, once you get married and have a family, if you are touring, that's the death of a lot of.
Can be. I think
it can be, but
we'd have probably been fine.
Oh, I'd have missed you too much. Who would have helped build this empire? I needed you, baby.
Okay. Anyway, next.
Moving on. Teresa, how old were you when you discovered you could draw? Did you always know that you wanted to be an artist when you grew up? That is still from Fran. I don't know. I just always colored. I was always drawing. I don't think I ever had this epiphany.
Well, what did your third grade teacher write in your?
Yeah, my third grade teacher said, oh, I don't know, Kevin. It's in my bio.
I'm sure you'll be sitting under a tree somewhere all summer long, drawing and sketching or something.
Yeah, and then she said, maybe someday you'll be a famous artist and I can buy one of your paintings. And then I did try to locate her because I forgot about that. And then I found my report card and then I tried to find her and I found her sisters and they told me that she had passed 6 months earlier. And it would have been really awesome to have, oh God, I get the goosebumps, to have reunited with her and said, oh my gosh, look what happened. Okay, did you always, know that you wanted to be an artist? I already said that. I didn't always know I wanted to be an artist, but it was the thing I loved to do. I really didn't think at first that I could ever make money at it. So I tried to be logical, and I went to college for a while for different things and didn't like any of it. So then I asked my parents if I could go for an art degree. And so I went 2 years at the local college here in Flint. So Lois Schumacher. I've been meaning to ask about your coffee maker and your sweet mug. What brand is it? Cuisinart. I had Kevin look it up while he was up at the house earlier. Did you do the artwork for the mug? Yes, I did. And is it available? She asked. Somebody just located one because they sent me a picture of it. And they said, oh my gosh, I found that mug that's in your, Vlogmas. So it's out there. It was made by Park Designs. So go to eBay or just even Google. What would you Google? I have some.
What mug is it?
This Santa mug.
Wonder if we have one.
Snow Friends. So Google Park Designs Snow Friends and Teresa Kogut. All those words together and you might be able to find some. But if we have spares lying around, you never know. Pam. Jeez. Where did I get Pam? Michelle J. What is your favorite gift from each other? The gift of his love.
Wow.
I don't know. I know. I read that and I was like, my children.
That's a good one.
That, but if you're talking a Christmas gift, I don't remember from year to year. My vacuum cleaner. Wasn't that last year? Or no, 2 years ago.
Oh my. Huh.
I know people, some women get offended if they get those kind of gifts. I love them. Ryan got me a panini maker last year. He got us the coffee makers, for both of us. I don't mind those gifts because they make my life easier and more enjoyable, and they're things you use all the time. So,
my electric gloves.
Have you got a chance to use them yet?
No.
Yeah, I hope they work good. Christine Nett. You mentioned your husband sold real estate and also mentioned he was a sheet metal worker. Would you elaborate on those two topics of his employment history? They are drastically different, and I'm wondering how he chose those two options.
Well, I had dreams of doing real estate back when Teresa and I were first married. I went through the classes, got my license, but at that time was also a sheet metal apprentice in the apprenticeship program. So I just, I don't know, I always had a hankering to do that. But it went to the wayside, and I did sheet metal for 10 years, maybe 11 or 12. And then I left that to work our publishing business that we had, Primitive Folk, full-time. And did that till 90, no.
2000 something.
2009. And then I went and got my license again, had to re-up for that. I thought, and because business was kind of tough in this area, real estate wise too. But I got my license and got a job at a brokerage and did that for 5 years. But it really wasn't my passion. It wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. It was a lot of hard work and very stressful. I did all right, but I wasn't really happy. And I had an opportunity to go back in the sheet metal program. I thought, well, I'll go in there and get some more points toward my retirement. And so I did that for 5 years before, up until last year when I retired from that to go back to working full-time for Teresa. So full circle a couple times there. I don't think I'll be doing real estate again. But
it's been interesting, hasn't it? Teresa, would you be willing to upload some of your watercolor painting videos at normal speed with an audio commentary regarding the painting technique and tips? This is also from Christine. Oh, I've been deleting them off my I don't know if I have any of them left, but I do have some of those videos here on this channel. And, that's something I plan on doing in the future. And if I do have any of the videos left over, I might possibly do that as well. Patty Colic. How did you guys meet? We already answered that. Kevin, did you always like to cook or did you have to train him? LOL. LOL, she said. LOL. And do you remember your first Christmas together? So, Kevin, we both just like to cook. We like to cook together. I've never had any teaching. My mom didn't sit down and say, hey, this is how you make this. This is how you make mashed potatoes. That was what she taught me to make. And I make some killer mashed potatoes. Yeah, she does. But
we like to eat, so you learn how to cook.
That is a great point. That is a great point. I mean, we like eating out too, but especially when the kids were little, it was very important to us to eat as a family every night.
Home-cooked meal every day.
Yeah, so we cooked every day. It wasn't always from scratch. I'll admit that, when you're raising kids and you've got a business to run and all of that. But I don't know, we enjoy it. And now with Pinterest and all that, holy cow, if you can read and take direction from a recipe, you can cook, really. Because we're not gourmet or anything. I'm not anyway. Okay. Oh, and do you remember your first Christmas together?
We had just started dating, I think. Wasn't it in October or something?
I'm terrible with this kind of stuff. I'm not mushy-gushy on the past, so I don't remember these things.
Lucky me.
I just don't remember. I guess I was thinking when we were married. First Christmas when we were married. We would have been in the apartment.
That was a long time ago.
And I remember in our apartment, we're dirt poor, just getting married and all that. And I remember making ornaments. I actually still have some of those ornaments on my tree, our tree. But they're handmade ornaments just out of wrapping a styrofoam ball with some homespun, putting raffia on it. And, it's just basic, but they're still cool. They're still kind of that country
look. They got color.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Okay, Sheila Burton. Do you guys remember what you got each other for the first Christmas you were married?
We can't even remember what I got last year. No, we don't remember very well.
No, we have terrible memories.
We're too busy living in the present, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know what that is either, but we don't remember.
But I'm sure they were good.
I'm sure of it. Okay,
Sorry.
Beth Reed. People often say that couples should not work together for the sake of their marriage. First, did you have any trepidations about working together, and how do you handle conflicts that may arise? Who gets the final word?
She's the boss.
Okay, so we never had any, I didn't anyway, have any second thoughts about him when he was, because he said earlier that he was doing sheet metal, and our primitive folk publishing business just grew so fast, and I couldn't handle it by myself anymore.
It was more out of necessity than whether we wanted to or not. It
Right.
had to be done.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 2020. Had he kept in sheet metal, he could have worked there 30 years and retired with full pension and everything. So, you know, but
Yeah, I might have been broke down, my back and legs and knees. I mean, I only did 15 years and I'm broke down as it is. So
yeah, so I think God was looking out for us.
I have no regrets.
Right. So him coming to work, you know, I never thought, oh my gosh, I'll be with my husband 24/7. Those things never occurred to me. Like, we are a team in life and we're best friends and we like to be around each other, thank goodness, because we're around each other all the time. But we work well together.
Yeah, I didn't mention them when I was given the timeline of my employment, but during the early 2000s after we moved here and we got the studio built, I spent a lot of time just taking care of the boys up at the house. You know, kind of Mr. Mom type stuff, and cooked most of the meals and made sure the household was happening. And then whatever I had to do down here, I did. I mainly worked probably part-time at that point. I don't know. Seems like you're always doing something, especially if you got little kids.
There's always something to do. Yeah. Yeah.
And
you know, that was
nice.
Yeah. It was hard. You know, that was when licensing was just cranking. And I mean, I couldn't paint fast enough, and I had a ghost painter. I've talked about that before. And, you know, it'd be a beautiful summer day, and Kevin and the boys would come down to swim and play in the pond, and and it's right outside, you guys have seen it, right outside my door or my windows. And that was hard. It was really hard to not just drop everything and go, you know, but I had deadlines for companies. It's different now with our business. I'm in kind of control of control of my time. I like freedom. You know, and that was the whole reason I wanted to start a business, is to have freedom. Well, what was I thinking, right? But there's certain points in our business where I did have freedom, and then I didn't. And now I have freedom again. And now I'm at an age where I'm not ever going to give it up. But
yeah, we learned what ties you down, what doesn't. And we're just angling towards the things that don't tie us down too much.
Right. Yeah. Because when with licensing, I had deadlines for companies. That's how I got paid, by, you know, the sales of the products I designed for them. So and if I miss their deadline, then they miss their deadline getting a product made, and it's not going to get out the door.
Don't get paid.
They'll never work with me again. So it was like,
not to mention you won't get paid.
Yeah. So anyway, and real quick, with licensing, you'll design something. By the time it hits market, it might be a year later. By the time you get paid for it, it might be a year and a half later. So you're always working way ahead of schedule. It was crazy. But anyways, let's see. Teal Elder, what is a present that you have given to each other or anyone that was meaningful to you because you knew they would love it?
Oh, I gave somebody a picture of their dog once. My niece's ex-husband. But he loved it. He genuinely loved it. And it was a very simple little gift. Something we were kind of hard up for money, and so and I drew his name for the Colgate Family Christmas, and it was just a little block wood print type deal, and I printed something of his dog and put some text on it, Remy, the dog's name.
I forgot about that. I guess, excuse me, the only thing I can really think of is I drew for my brother. I think this was before you and I met.
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, Maybe. It was the Kiss album, and and I didn't do the whole album cover. It was just the Kiss band and in their regalia, and it turned out really nice. Actually, I think it was watercolor and color pencil, and he went nuts over it. But I can't think of really anything else.
That's a good one.
Other than, I've given handmade gifts to people, but that was something very specific, that I did just for him. Okay, let's see. Cheryl Thompson, what were Kevin's Christmas traditions while growing up?
We would get together with my mom's side of the family in a big hall because there was just, I don't know, probably at some point 100 people. Right now there's even more. We would get together and not on Christmas, but close to Christmas, and do that. And then we would get together with my dad's side of the family every Christmas Day, every year on Christmas Day, and do presents and like she mentioned, I grew up next door to my aunt and uncle and my cousins there, so we were kind of tight back then.
Was the Christmas celebration for your dad's side of the family, was that at your house?
We would take turns, just like
okay.
we do now.
Gotcha.
Usually it was at my Uncle Ed and Aunt Wanda's because they had a real big finished basement with a walkout. They had a little bit more room in the basement than we did.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got the big house, you have all the parties. Oh, where am I? Okay, so this is still Cheryl. Where were your thoughts when you knew Teresa would be licensing her art and become a famous artist designer?
Well, it was never a given. Licensing is tricky business. You don't, like she said, you don't know if it's a hit until people buy it or not. So it was a gradual thing. It was never a aha moment. Might have been after she had achieved some success. I'm like, wow, how about that? Look what she did. Look what we did.
We're a team. For sure.
I don't know. That would have been, maybe right before the bottom fell out.
Ouch. Yeah,
laugh.
It's crazy the turns that our business has taken. Kevin, this is still Cheryl. What was your favorite gift as a child or as an adult? And Teresa, how about your favorite gifts? We're terrible. We already answered this, didn't we?
We did, but her mom gave me, it wasn't a Christmas gift, she gave me their cyclone rake that she had when she sold her house. And God bless her. I told her that was the best thing she ever gave me after her daughter, of course. It's been a blessing in this yard for me. It's really helped me tremendously.
For sure. Door Jeff 5 links. Thank you. Wait. Okay, my husband too plays in a band. As we're decorating our Christmas tree forest in our living room. Yes, this year we're doing a forest with snowflakes hanging from the ceiling. The grandsons are going to love it. He heard you say Mr. Whims is a drummer. He has a question. How often does Kevin play out?
Well, since COVID, not as often as I'd like. I'm in 2 bands, same members in both bands except for the guitar player switches out. And the Beatles Trip Band, we've had some shows last year. They're slowly coming back. We probably played maybe 10 shows over the summer, mostly amphitheaters and that sort of things. The other band is on hiatus until we find a different guitar player. Not sure when that's going to happen. We found somebody that we're going to try out, but we haven't done that yet. So I play out when I had the other band going. We would the winter months we'd play once a month, once every 6 weeks with the cover band, the Green Bottle Fly, and the Beatle tribute band. We would work that in the summertime because that's when it had most of the opportunity. So the other band started out as just to keep our chops up over the winter, and it turned out to be just as much fun. Didn't pay as well, but just as much fun. So it varies. There's your answer. Not a lot right now. I think I got something next month. And then we got some dates booked for the summer. Thanks for the question.
Teresa Mack, how did you and hubby meet? Okay, we answered that one.
At a bar.
Yeah, I know. I'm really wordy though when I give my answers. Those labels would be super cute as notepads too. Oh, I don't have this person's name. I'm so sorry. I forgot to put the name on before I put the questions. She said, what hobbies does your hubby have? Do we share any hobbies? We don't share any hobbies.
No.
I mean, we work together and we live together and we cook together. I mean,
no.
Go do your thing.
Me and a friend of mine brew beer. We got a nice brewery set up, 20-gallon batches at his place. I like to hunt. I enjoy working in my yard for now. But I just wish it wasn't quite so much sometimes. But I went last week, I raked leaves one day and shoveled snow the next. Never stops.
Yeah.
But really enjoy, especially in the springtime, I enjoy working in the yard and playing stuff. And
I mean, I guess that's could be a shared hobby. I mean, when we
usually go our separate ways though in the yard.
A lot of times, but if we're making a new bed or we're planning stuff, we like to, you know, we like to try to plan stuff out, and you know, so we do like to do that together. Not all the time. A lot of times, I'm doing the weeding and the flower stuff, and he's doing the mowing and the all that, you know. And I mean, cooking. We like to cook together, but that's not necessarily a hobby. That's just to live. We had a hobby. We used to work out together and play racquetball when we first, actually before we even moved here, and it continued for a little while afterwards. But I am extremely competitive.
She wouldn't let me win.
And so is he. And we were hurting ourselves playing racquetball.
Our knees were going bad.
My knees weren't going bad.
Mine were.
But he slammed, I mean, we would like slam into the wall to get the ball, you know, and I remember one time you kind of hurt your shoulder. And it's so funny because we learned to play just by playing racquetball, never had lessons or anything. And I remember this one guy asked if I was on the women's league.
Didn't ask me if I was on the women's league.
But we had so much fun doing that. I really loved racquetball, but I wish we would have found that sport when we first met each other and did that together, because that would have, we had younger, you know, bodies. We could have handled it a little bit better, but you know, 10 years into our marriage, I don't know, I just wasn't as
No,
easy.
well, we got busy too.
Yeah.
Licensing was really taking off, and after we moved here, things got just
crazy.
Busy.
Yeah. Carol Turner asks, oh wait, did I finish all those? Oh wait, what paint color blends do you use for skin tone in your watercolor paintings? Basically, I just grab a red and I grab a yellow and I mix it till I get like a flesh tone.
You didn't answer this part. Thank you. Or you didn't read it.
Yeah, that was just a comment. If you weren't an artist, what other career would you pick? Well, I love photography. That or, yeah, photography probably would be it. But I like gardening. I like when I go to the nursery. I loved all the plants. I could spend an entire day just in there looking at plants and stuff like that. So if I knew what to plant where, that kind of thing. So those are my two. You mentioned that your hubby did sheet metal fabrication as well as real estate. What career came first and how did he transition? So we already answered that. Carol Turner, is there a dream destination that you two would like to travel? Go ahead and say yours. Is it the same?
Well, I wouldn't mind that either. That's fine.
You wouldn't mind what either? I didn't even say.
New Zealand, Hawaii, or Italia.
Italia? Yeah, I want to go to Italy. But, I mean, Hawaii sounds good. Alaska. I would like to go like on an Alaska cruise. There's a lot of things I'd like to do. But, yeah, New Zealand we heard was amazing. I want to go to Australia, too. But I don't know. I'm not a big traveler. I say these things, but I'm not a big traveler. It looks like it's blowing you out. Should I?
It does.
It's getting darker in here, so this light is a little bit much. There we go. Lynn LaForce, what is your favorite date night? What date night? What? We tried that one time when the kids were older and old enough to stay on their own. We're like, okay, every Wednesday's date night. And I think we did it 2 weeks in a row, and it was like, nope.
Yeah.
We're busy, and
she works late every night, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, we go out to dinner maybe once a week, Not even that.
Well, I think we're going out tonight.
We are.
It's date night.
I guess that's what we consider date night. For us, date night would just be going out to dinner. Nana McStuffing, I love that. She says, my wee question is, I live in, oh, that was the other one, Ireland. I meant to say Ireland. My wee question is, I live in Scotland, UK. Have you ever visited the UK? No, we have not.
No.
Also, where is your favorite place to visit? Mine's Tennessee, I have to say. 'Cause I love Nashville. I love live music. I just love the whole vibe down there.
Northern Michigan, for me.
I like that too. So, and he has fun in Nashville, so we're cool.
That's all good.
We don't go on separate vacations. Well,
she goes without me. I just don't go on a vacation.
That sounds terrible.
I know.
Well, I have these opportunities with my girlfriends. We like to do stuff.
My friends suck.
Oh my gosh.
Love you guys.
Teresa Mack, how did y'all spend your first Christmas together, as in going to family homes, a vacation somewhere, or have it strictly at your home? We went to friends. Family.
No, it is it. When you're young, you gotta show up at the family place.
For sure.
Be in big trouble.
Mandy Russell, Missouri Stitcher. How was Santa's gifts presented to you on Christmas morning? Mine was out on display, ready to play with, and my husband's were wrapped. We've done it both ways for our kids. We had to meld our traditions together. Ours were always wrapped.
Yeah. What? What?
I thought you said that you guys didn't wrap, like some of the stuff wasn't wrapped.
Oh, I never said that. When did I say that?
Well, somebody told me that when they grew up, their stuff wasn't wrapped, and I'm like, what? That's the fun part, is digging in and
not knowing what you got.
Yeah.
No. I never said that.
Okay, I was thinking of someone else then. Okay, Jaslyn Shearer. How did you first meet? Okay, that was a repeat question. D, the gardener. What is your favorite Christmas traditions?
Christmas morning with the kids.
That is always the best. For sure. What are your favorite Christmas traditions from when you were a child into your adult life with your children? Again, Christmas morning. My Christmas was different, though. When we got older, and I don't know if there's kids watching, so I'm just saying when we got old enough, because we would go to Missouri like after Christmas morning, like the next day, which was always difficult because we had all these new toys, and then we would leave. We'd have to leave. We could take a couple with us, and then when we got older, we drug all of our stuff down there and had Christmas, maybe not all the gifts, but we'd have Christmas. We'd be there for Christmas morning. And so, yeah, it changed. It ebbed and flowed for us. Kim Haynes, how old were you when you found... Did you answer that one? I'm sorry.
Huh?
Did you answer the last one?
Oh, I didn't.
Your Christmas traditions that you had as a child?
Oh, it was. Well, my brothers were all older, so after I got older, it was just me and my folks a lot of times. But no, as a kid, it was Christmas morning or watching Rudolph.
Oh yeah,
it only come on one time a year.
Yep.
All gathered around to watch Rudolph.
And so Frosty, all of those, yeah.
Those were some of the favorite things. The shows.
Absolutely.
Grinch.
Oh, you know what too, though? Decorating the tree. That was something that, like, we made. That was a family thing. My dad, my mom, my brother, and me. And then as we got older, I still always stayed with my parents and decorated the tree. My brother was with his friends. You know what I mean? Like, I loved that. Very fond memories of decorating the tree with my parents. Oh, geez, where am I? Kevin, I lost it. Whoa, what am I on?
How old were you when you...
Oh.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even done that yet.
Okay, we're right here. Like, Kim Haynes. I don't know if I should do this. Okay, if there's children in the room, you might want to fast forward over this. How old were you when you found out there wasn't a Santa Claus? What was your first... Okay, that's a whole different... I don't remember how old I was. I mean, my brother was a couple years older than me, so I probably found out younger than most. Let's just say. I do remember one time he did try to, like, really make me excited about Christmas. Like, now looking back, he knew there wasn't a Santa, but I was still believing. And I remember he come running in the house and he's like, Teresa, there are, footprints and hoof prints on the roof. You got to come and see. And I don't know, he went up there, my dad went up there and made a big, and we didn't have a fireplace, but I was a little kid and naive and I believed everything they told me. I don't remember what age. How about you?
Maybe around 10, I found a G.I. Joe in the basement. And then that came from Santa Claus.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, well, I kind of thought it was cool. I thought it was smart. But then after I realized what happened, I'm like, oh, that kind of stinks. Oh, well.
You're doing that. Okay. What was your first car?
67 Pontiac Bonneville, blue in rust.
Michigan. Mine was a Chevette. I don't know the year. Stick shift Chevette.
I think that was 85. No.
No, I graduated in 85, so probably 83, 84. Kevin, how old were you when you started to play drums?
13.
Teresa, do you play any instruments? Absolutely not. Cheryl Pucky, were you both raised in the area that you reside in now?
Yep.
Pretty much. Are Christmas trips close within visiting both sides of your family?
Nope.
So, yeah, it's changed a lot for us. For my side of the family, it's just, we do it at our house. It's just me, Kevin, and the boys on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, you can take over Christmas Day.
We go to my brother's in Diamonddale, which is west of Lansing, hour and 15 minutes from here. So that's not real close, but it's not horrible. It's doable.
Yeah, for sure.
Next year we might be doing something different. We might be renting a hall because it's getting out of hand. The family's getting big.
Joe Wick, how did the two of you meet and where did you go on your first date? So we already talked about how did we meet. Our first date.
I invited you over for dinner.
Yes.
And broke my glasses.
How did you break your glasses?
They were on the armrest. I had just gotten, it was my first set of glasses ever, I think. So it was probably a rookie mistake. Yep, summarily busted them right there. I think my roommate, our future best man, helped or prepared the meal. I can't remember which. No, I cooked it.
Yeah, probably because back then John did a lot of cooking.
Yeah.
You know, they lived together, and John is a really good
he
cook.
was my roommate at the time.
Yeah, and he and I remember him saying, because at that time I didn't know you played drums, and I remember him saying, "You about killed him." He's like, "Hey, Kevin, you had the what are those timbales?" And he's like, "Hey, Kevin, why don't you get up and show Teresa how you play drums?" Like, put him
about to do a solo on his face,
right on the spot. That's so funny. Donna Cosino, she said, how do you describe your working relationship? How do you support each other to make it successful and happy? Our working relationship, I mean, I have things I have to do. He has things he has to do. We have a wall between us.
With a door that closes and opens.
I mean, we've worked together before, though, years and years ago, and we just make it happen. Yeah,
I mean, I can't paint. I don't, so she takes care of most of that. There's some other things, the video, a lot of this stuff. But it's always evolving, too. Whatever, she's not static by no means. She evolves all the time, and every once in a while she'll say, "Oh, Kevin, guess what? What's what I thought of?" I'm like, "Oh, God, hold on. Here we go."
He's always been so amazing and supportive of things that I want to do, and I'm just so grateful.
I just try to keep up.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do any of it without him, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm better at processes and...
Oh, he's so good at problem solving.
And making things more efficient and stuff like that. So yes. I just find little things like that I can tweak, and that makes me happy. Sheila
Love Greg 34. What band did Kevin play in? Now, when she says did, I'm assuming she meant maybe when we met. I don't know.
When we met, it was a band called Foreplay with my best man, John. We've been playing together for over 30 years now. Well, I've been in a couple. Then we had one called Yikes, and then there was a couple other ones, that they kind of, they're hard to keep up with over the years. But the last one, the most significant has been Shout, the Beatles tribute band. That's been going on for over 20 years now.
Rebecca Moore, what is your favorite design Teresa has done?
Oh, she did some What is that, chalk?
Design. I think
design.
I think she's talking about cross stitch.
Oh, I'm very fond of the teddy bear. I like Strutting and Old Friend.
Old Friend, I wish it sold better.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm just shocked it hasn't.
Yeah.
Because that was one of my things I pushed for was Old Friends, and nobody buys it. Of course, lonesome teddy bear.
Hey, Old Friends had its heyday.
Oh yeah, he
Holy did. Toledo, that painting has had legs. So, create X Stitcher Gertie. Question for Kevin: what are you thinking of the art Teresa makes? I don't know. I'm guessing she's talking about the watercolors I'm just now doing,
or maybe just all
my art. I don't know.
I love it. It's always a surprise to see what she creates next. Like I said, it's never boring, never static, and it's there's always a different medium or this or that, or so it keeps me entertained and it keeps her entertained.
Keeps me happy. Question for me: how long does it take you to make a painting in Vlogmas? I try to keep it to, I think a couple of them have went 2 hours, but an hour to an hour and a half, it has been about the average of those. Tammy Romano, she said, for both, what is your favorite time of the day, time of the year, and favorite memory? Oh, dang. Those are tough. The favorite time of the day for me, morning.
Evening.
Morning. Time of the year, spring and fall. I don't know. I love fall.
Fall's mine.
Yeah, I know he loves fall too, but winter's coming after fall. So therefore, spring, when everything's starting to blossom and the gardens look really awesome at that point, that excites me. So, and favorite memory, I don't know. I mean, wedding, birth of your children, I mean, those are hard to top.
Yeah.
Okay. Kendra.
Wedding is my favorite day.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh. Kendra, Elliott, both. What are your best organizational tips? I don't have any.
Tips?
If you saw my studio, you'd know I'm not really good at organizing. Kevin has got that over on the other side really well.
Well, it's really mostly about cleaning up after your day's work, just like when I was in the trades. You clean up every day so that you don't come in to a messy work area and then you do it again, and before you know it, it's unsafe and it's unproductive. So keep it clean often, and then it's easy to do. I'm not, I'm not exactly a ninja at doing these things. I have some hoarding issues in my family, and I've got a little bit of that too. But I try to stay after it, and that would be my tip: is just try to keep things cleaned up on a daily basis, and then doesn't become a overwhelming task.
For me, my problem is I'm not telling you any tips because I don't really have any, or maybe this will help you to not get like me. My problem is, like, I have things that are important to me. Okay, so I have them in a place, and then other things become important, and then other things become important. So then I just have these piles of things that, and then I need to like maybe once a month go back through these piles and say, is this still important to me? My problem is I don't go back and then weed out all the crap I don't need anymore. So I just keep, like, the walls keep closing in on me, and eventually, I end up going through stuff, but I wait a little bit too long, gets a little bit too messy, and that starts giving me like anxiety, and I don't like that. So I need a schedule of just like going back through papers and magazines and things that I'm not using anymore. All right, we skipped one, and we're going to go back to that one. Carol Turner, Kevin, what is your most challenging order to pack? Was it size, time constraint, or other irons in the fire?
Yes. Well, back before I retired, I was helping with the orders and working, full time, and it was an hour and a half one-way drive. So I'm gone at least 10, 11, 12 hours a day every day, and then come home and try to help Teresa keep up with stuff. So those were challenging, and sometimes the size of the order, it's not so much. Like a lot of times when we have a new release, I've got a lot of the new stuff stocked up, but it's hard to say what they're going to buy, the old stuff. So that's usually where I get my butt kicked, is they'll order a bunch of this or a bunch of that I don't have the stock up. So I have to make the stock while I'm pulling the order, and it's not horrible. It just makes it challenging. But we've had some doozy orders, some real doozies.
Yeah. Back in the day when we used to ship framed artwork with glass in it, and the boxes, they were so heavy. I mean, yeah, I mean, some of these boxes can get really heavy too. I mean, we've sent them out, like some orders, maybe they're 18, 20 pounds and they're 3 or 4 boxes, you know, like that.
18 would be the max. They shrunk the boxes. They didn't up the weight, but I noticed they shrunk the
priority mail boxes.
The priority mail boxes.
Okay, guys, so it is 10 after 5 and we have somewhere to go, and then we're going out to dinner, and then I've got to come home and edit this video and get it up. And we still have questions to go over with Kevin. So we will do this, I don't know, maybe between Christmas and New Year's, whenever. It'll be again on this channel. We're going to keep it all here. What?
Okay. So we could do it tomorrow with the grandkids.
Yeah, right. You know, we'll have our... And you have a hair appointment. So...
A hair appointment. Ooh.
What am I supposed to say? A barber.
Yeah, whatever. It just sounds funny.
But anyway, so yeah, we're busy with the kids tomorrow. So there's several more questions though. So we will come back and answer the rest of those with Kevin, and then I'll do a whole nother video, probably after the first of the year or sometime when I can, and answer all the questions that just pertain to me. So we shall return. Thank you so much. This has been fun, and you guys have asked some really good questions. I'm impressed. So thank you for your thoughtfulness. All right, guys. Oh, I was gonna say we should probably say Merry Christmas. Well, no, we gotta open presents. Oh, I was gonna do that tonight too. I don't know how we're going to open presents tomorrow with the kids here. We actually, when they're taking their nap, we'll probably record ourselves.
That's when I'm going to get my haircut.
Ah, jeepers.
It doesn't take that long.
And well, we can't open gifts in front of the kids because then they'll want to open gifts. So we'll figure something out.
We can do it before they get here.
Yeah, we can probably do it in the morning. Okay, anyways, I don't know. You guys don't need to know all that. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out. Guess what, guys? Oops, I did it again. I forgot the keyword. Okay, your keyword for today is Tannenbaum. You don't have to know how to spell it. Just Tannenbaum.